After 3 successful runs, the Art Apart Fair rolls out a new Singapore edition. The contemporary art fair scheduled in July will highlight the Philippines and showcase some 2,000 artworks from more than 200 emerging and mid-career artists. Half of the proceeds from their sale will go to charity. Now, galleries and artists in the country are invited to join the fair. And here to tell us more about it is Rosalind Lim, founder and director of the Art Apart Fair in Singapore. Good morning, Rosalind.
Morning.
What a pleasure to have you. Now, we're talking about this very unconventional way, really, of getting people to experience art. Tell us about the big picture of Art Apart. Where did it all begin?
Right. The Art Part Fair, the idea was mooted because we wanted to set up a platform to actually help emerging artists.
Right.
Because most artists are, to go to an art fair is very expensive, a very costly affair. So doing it in a hotel would be more cost-effective because the artists get to stay in the hotel room in the evening, and in the day the rooms are actually turned into art exhibition venue.
Right, okay. It's a very unconventional way, like I said, of getting people to engage the art. It also makes it much more accessible also, I guess, to people who aren't usually in and out of galleries, who might find themselves experiencing art in a very new and very different way. What was the, how would you say, reaction of people when you first mounted the exhibit, or this type of unconventional exhibit?
Yeah. In fact, most of the visitors that visited Art Apart Fair, they are all very happy, very excited about the experience.
Right.
And the comment was always, it's very intimate, unlike a white cube sort of art fair, where, a visitor is exposed to a whole a range of artwork at one glance. Whereas exhibiting in a hotel, the visitor get to go into a room, look at the painting, come out of the room, rest their eye, walk along the corridor, and then move into another room again. Right. So there is a time for them to rest, and then it is also very intimate when it's like visiting the house of a gallery owner or an artist.
That's very different. In fact, it's proven to be a very successful format. You've mounted 5 or 6, if I understand correctly. This will be the 6th?
Yes, this will be the 6th in Singapore, and we had one in London.
In London and in New York as well?
Yes, New York is coming up in 2016.
Coming up as well. Now, you've put a particular focus on different genres maybe, or different areas from where the artists are coming from in previous shows. Recently, you did emerging and mid-career artists from Russia, Ukraine, Serbia, Eastern Europe, and that sort of thing. And now you've sort of trained your eye on the Philippines. Thank you for doing that.
Most welcome.
What's the interest in what the Filipino artist has to offer? What do we have that's very unique?
I think here the people in Filipino are very creative, not only in art, but in dancing, in singing, very, very creative people. And I think you also have the populace, the number of artists, the sheer size of the artists you have. Because Singapore is a very small island. We have hardly, we have only very few artists. Right. So I think people here are very talented. And also the artwork are not expensive. They're very affordable. Yeah. So I think that gives the appeal.
Right. There's that. But well, I mean, Pasita Abad spent many years in Singapore, making her mark as a Filipino artist there as well. How would you gauge the interest of the art buying public in Singapore and their reactions towards Filipino artworks? Yeah,
like I mentioned earlier on, I think they find Filipino art very affordable, and they're very creative. So for example, there's an artist called, I think, what's his name, Randy Salon. Yeah, I've actually sold a couple of his work in Singapore, and it's a Filipino artist, a very good artist.
Okay. Is there a particular flavor, do you think, that sort of identifies the work that comes from our area? You've brought a range of pieces here. Are these some of the pieces that will eventually find their way into the exhibit? Or?
Yes, they will. They will definitely find their way into Art Apart Fair. They are what we call soil painting, and they are by an artist called Belukto, and another one called Salimon.
Right.
Yeah, and they use soil to paint it.
That's very
and
interesting.
then with a hand and with a brush, fingers actually, and brush, and then they use some kind of a binder to paint the artwork.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's not a traditional painting pigment. Soil, different types of soil.
Right.
So it's sort of earthy colors and a very unusual approach. Is there a particular theme or message in the works that sort of tie the pieces together, or are you just looking for a broad range from different sort of themes and genres?
Yeah, I think this 6th edition, what we're trying to do is that we're looking at sort of highlighting not only just Filipino art, but also what we call a urban and contextual art.
Okay.
So works like that would be very interesting for the Singapore sort of visitors,
right?
Because it's a unique way of painting. You know, like I say, using finger, using soil. Yeah. So this would have an appeal.
Okay, so it's something very unusual,
yes,
very different.
Very unusual.
Okay, so for people who want to experience, a very unconventional art fair like this, I mean, how do they sign up? How can we, for artists, how can we sort of, how would you say, get our works to you or get our works noticed by you? And for people who want to come and engage the art, where do they go and how do they take part?
We are online. We have a website, and all they have to do is just go to www.artapartfair.com, and then we also have a Facebook and Twitter, so visitors can just go into the internet and apply. Yeah.
Right, okay. So for people who want to come and see the art, I mean, where do they find the details of where the art's going to be, when it's going to be? Do you have to, how does it work? Do you pay to actually view the works, or?
There are two audiences. The entry fee is very inexpensive, so you just pay $10 Singapore dollar to get entry to visit the exhibition. However, we also have our own database of about some 10,000 people, where we actually send personal invite to these 10,000 over people to come to the fair. However, if people who we're not really there to make money to sell the ticket, But however, if there are people who are interested, they can always write to us, and we can always send them a free invite.
To come out and,
to come out,
check out the work.
Yes,
okay, what's in store for the future for Art Apart? Where do you want to take this? How big do you think it can get?
Well, we're now sort of concentrating and trying to build the brand name, because it's only a 2-year-old brand, even though we had all in all 7 editions, 6 in Singapore and 1 in London. So the next country that we're taking the fair to is New York, and then we'll see from there. Maybe, I don't know, hopefully Paris, or the art center.
Have you noticed a difference maybe in the way that people have reacted, coming from maybe a more Asian, Pan-Asian background to more Western sort of, backgrounds? What's been the reaction to this very unusual way of holding an art fair, in Asia compared to, say, somewhere like New York maybe, or London?
The idea of having a hotel art fair actually was first mooted in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was I think maybe, if I'm not wrong, 8 or 9 years ago. And if people who are in the art market would know of a very big art fair called the Armory Show.
Okay.
And the Armory Show, when they first started, it was a hotel art fair. And they grew so big that it became a big, really white cube type of format.
Okay. Do you think that that's the natural progression of things? Do you eventually see, Art Apart becoming something like that, or do you like the intimacy and the intimacy, not to say the smallness, but really how intimate an experience the Art Apart
I think the hotel part of the fair, that intimacy, we still would like to retain. So if we go big, maybe we will have a mix of a white cube type of format and also the hotel format.
Okay, good stuff, fantastic stuff. Well, let's just go over the details again. The Art Apart Fair, this upcoming one, is going to be when and where?
It's going to be held in Singapore at the Park Royal Hotel on Pickering, and it will be held from the 17th to the 19th of July.
There you go. Have you already curated all the works that are going to be included, or are you still, is there still a shout out for local artists to somehow get their works sort of noticed by you guys?
Yeah, we have a regular exhibitor who comes every edition. Yeah. And however, like I say again, because this year the emphasis is on Filipino art, so that's the reason why I'm here in Manila to introduce the art fair to the artists and to the galleries here, and hopefully I can invite them to Singapore to exhibit. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, thank you so much to Rosalind Lim, the founder and director of the Art Apart Fair in Singapore.
Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.